Hello, everyone. 21st of March, first day of spring in Europe. I hope you're all well. We will be working on our forearms today. So you can come into a seated position, either with your on a chair or on the floor. Just choose for you which is going to be best and which is most comfortable. Okay, I've just muted everyone so that for the recording we have a good recording without any background noise. And we'll start with our natural exercises for the neck. So open your shoulders, lift your chest, have your chin parallel to the floor, and we'll simply lift the head, breathing in. Lengthen out your throat and breathe out and lower your chin down to your chest. And again, we'll breathe in, lifting the chin, lengthen the throat, feel the stretch, and breathing out, lower the chin to the chest. That's great. One more time, everyone, breathe in, lift your chin, feel the stretch, and breathing out, lower the chin. Then bring your head back to neutral, and we'll turn our head to the right, feel the stretch down the side of the neck, as well as perhaps in the vertebra, and then we'll change sides, other direction. And just go slowly and easily, breathing in and out. And by the way, there's a student who asked me about these exercises. And the answer is yes, you can do it every morning when you wake up. It will also help to connect the nervous system to the balance system throughout your day. So ideally, you do these movements throughout the day. Just take a few minutes. But yes, you can absolutely do them upon waking. So let's do a half circle with the head, bringing the chin down to the chest, go to one shoulder, and then change directions. As you do this, breathe deeply in and out, taking your time. One more time each side, rolling the head from side to side. And then bring the chin back down to the center of the chest and gently lift your head. Excellent. Let's roll the shoulders. Nice big circles up to the ears and around back behind you. Feel like you're even stretching out the muscles of the chest as well as the upper back. So when you bring the shoulders forward, you're rounding the upper back. Good. Change the direction of the circle, up and around and forward. Perfect, ladies. Yeah. Okay. Now, in your seated position, I'd like you to bring your hands forward, palms face each other, thumbs point up. And we'll take a deep breath in. You're going to point your thumbs back behind you, opening your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. You lift the chin just a bit. You don't have to let your head go back. And then as you bring your hands towards each other, point your thumbs in, so it's an internal rotation of the arms. Breathing in, it's an external rotation, thumbs point out. Breathing out, thumbs point in. Good, let's keep going with that. Breathing in, thumbs point out. And breathing out, you can let your head come down, chin to the chest. One more time, breathing in, open, and breathing out. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to add on to this. I want you to breathe in, open your arms. Now breathe in a little bit more and raise the arms up to the sky. And then bring the arms down, palms facing down in front of you. Good. Roll your shoulders once. Bring your arms out in front of you, palms face each other. We'll do that same breath. Breathing in, open the thumbs. Breathe in a little bit more, lift your arms a little bit more into the lungs. Now breathe out, palms face down and bring your arms down. Good, roll your shoulders. Arms in front of you, get ready. We're going to do it a little bit faster. Breathing in. Breathe in a little bit more. And then the arms come down, breathe out. Roll your shoulders, lift your arms in front of you. Again, breathe in. Breathe in a little bit more. And bring the arms down. Roll the shoulders. We do that one more time. Breathing in. Breathing in a little bit more. And then the palms come down, arms in front of you. Excellent. Roll the shoulders. Good. Lift your right arm, please. So to start, we're going to use the thumb in the flexor muscles. So this big group of muscles here, and you're going to make circles moving all the way up to your wrist. Make a big circle. Of course, at the same time, you'll be pressing on the other side with the extensor muscles. But for the moment, we want to focus on the flexor muscles. Go up all the way to the wrist and then move down again. If you're wearing a watch, you can get your thumb underneath. So as you do this, you may feel, ooh, the shoulder's getting a little bit tight. You could bring your elbow down if you wish. Move up and get those muscles really massaged. It's funny because if we ever get a tendonitis of those muscles, we realize just how often we use it throughout the day. One more time, going up. This also helps to move the lymph. And we're basically massaging the muscle and the fascia, connective tissue as well. Now, stretch your arm out in front of you. Using the 4 fingers, I want you to just gently make circles going down to the wrist again. Now, for many of you, you might find, ooh, there's much more sensitivity here. I explained at the beginning of class, you don't have to do it very hard for your extensor muscles. And you can even go up to the top of the elbow here. Back down again. We go up and down 3 times to the wrist and then back up again. And last time. Good. After finishing that, give your arms and your hands a little shake. And interestingly, what I like to do after these massages is take a look at my hands and just notice the difference in the circulation. But then at the same time, I move my wrists and notice the difference between the wrist that you just massaged, you change directions, and the one that you haven't. It's as if, for me, it's completely freed up the hand. So let's do the other side. First, you take your thumb into the flexor muscles and make a big circle. The thumb is quite strong, so you can press nice and deeply into those flexor muscles, and it's fine if you do. They're thick. Move back down, making those circles. That's great. Moving back up. Yeah. And back down. Perfect, ladies. 3 times up and down. And I tell you, this is preventative as well from injuring the wrists. And as many of you may know, that doing preventive measures is way better than actually having problems with your wrists. Let's change, and you're gonna you can bring your arms straight out and take your fingers and gently make circles pressing in. We're just trying to balance out the flexor and extensor muscles and their actions. Today, of course, we work our whole body, but I'll have a couple of cueing points for our wrists and our hands and how we place them on the ground, as well as pressure, how much pressure to place. Let's move back up and back down. So this is preventative, but if you do have some wrist issues, you should be massaging your forearms as often as possible. It will really help to free up the wrists and get them functioning well. So now make a circle and just notice how you feel now, right and left wrist. Good. Other direction, also just how you're feeling in your hands and your fingers. Perfect. Okay, let's get onto all fours. You could either roll over your ankles, coming up onto all fours, or you could swing your feet to one side and come onto your mat. So from here, on all fours, again, as I mentioned at the beginning of class, avoid spreading your fingers wide. That's not what babies do. They kind of curl their hands down. They have kind of almost a grabbing into the ground. And you want to feel that a little bit of grabbing, but it shouldn't be painful and it shouldn't be difficult. It should just be a little grab. From here, let's curl the spine, looking skyward, and then round the spine, look to your belly button. And again, we'll curl, looking skyward and breathing out. Let's round, look to the belly. One more time each direction. Let's curl and round. Coming back with a flat back, open your knees, sink back onto your heels. Now in this position, it's child's pose. See if it's more comfortable to have your hands down or to turn your palms up. Let the head look down towards the floor. If you can touch the floor at the head, great. If not, it's not a problem. Just notice the stretch in the hips, the low back, everything kind of releasing here. Lift your head and look forward. Place your palms down again. And remember that little baby grab with your hands. Coming up onto your hands and knees now. Bring your knees back in to hip width. Allow your back to curve. Lifting the hips, lift your chest, lift your chin. And we'll bounce back and forth. Now this movement alone, if you look at your wrists and your hands, it's already getting mobilization into your wrists. Keeping that tiny baby grab into the floor. Take deep, slow breaths. Now keeping the hips back, lift your right knee, set the right foot down, and reach with your right hand in front of you. Now I like to dome the hand. The fingertips are on the floor. That gets those flexor muscles working. Sink your hips back and forth. Once again, back and forth. Deep, slow breaths with the movement. Feel it in the legs, in the right hip, the right knee. Then bring the right hand back down. Stretch your right leg out to the side. Bring the foot down onto the floor so the toes point straight forward and the leg is straight out to the side. And let's bounce back and forth once again. Feeling it going into the inner thigh and the hip. All right, let's bring the knee back down. And we'll change sides. The left knee comes up, the left foot is on the floor. The left knee points diagonally out to the side. Left hand forward, fingertips down. Let's bounce back and forth. Very gentle bouncing. Deep breaths as we bounce. Then bringing the hand back down, stretch the left leg out to the side, toes point forward. The foot is down on the floor, and we'll sink back and forth again. So all of this bouncing movement, if you check your wrists, you see that, there is movement going on in the wrists, and the forearms are adjusting. Bring your knee back underneath the left hip. Keep your hands out in front of you with that little baby grab into the floor. Tuck your toes and rise up to crouching cat. Keeping the hips nicely lifted, the back nicely curved. Lift your head as well. And we bounce here back and forth. So there's much more weight on the hands. And we've worked up to this. We've worked up to getting a little bit more pressure into the forearms and the wrists. Turn your knees to the right and bounce, bringing the hips back. Bring them back behind you. Then change, turn your knees to the left and bounce, pressing the hips backwards, up and back. That's it. Good. Turning back forward, open your feet as wide as possible, walking your hands back, just like you're crawling. Now make two fists and set your fists on the floor. Hips go way back, lift the chin, looking forward, and we'll bounce here in that deep open squat. That's good for skiing, right? Hips bouncing down and back. All right, lifting up, set your hands to your thighs. Now, when you do this, I want you to feel like both hands become horseshoes. They sort of curve around, and you'll set them just above your knees. Arms straighten out, lift your chest, and bring your right shoulder forward. Look over your left shoulder. Come back to center. Changing, left shoulder forward, look over the right. Back to center, and we'll change. Right shoulder forward. Back to center, left shoulder forward. Back to center, one more time each side. Right shoulder. Good, back to center and left. Back to center, lift your chest, raise your arms, and here we go. We're gonna sink down for 10. Some nice deep squats. 9, arms stretched in front of you. 8, 7, if you want to, you could curl your fingers. 6, 5, 4, deep squats, hips back. 3, 2, here's the last one. Woo, come to standing and stepping your feet in. Beautiful, step to the front edge of your mat. So setting your feet at hip width. I'm just gonna adjust my camera. Get your feet at hip width. Perfect. Lift your ribs away from your hips. Open your shoulders nice and wide and bring your hands to your heart center. The knees are soft, ladies. That's super important. So now also the prayer position for the hands should imitate the way we want to have our hands on the floor. It's a soft prayer. There's almost space between the palms. It's just cupping. It also has the fingers softly rounded and avoid spreading them wide apart. That extends the extensor muscles. You want to keep them soft, everything soft. Good. Here we go. Deep breath in, let's rise up. Reach with your arms. Good. Breathing out, let's fold. Your elbows come to your knees first, and then you set your hands down. Set fingertips, and then palms as you step back to the plank. So plank can be tricky for the hands. Really feel those suction cups lifting up. It's that soft baby hand position. Lower your knees down. Lower your chest down to the floor, gently and slowly. Now we're going to do things differently today. Point your toes. Take your hands off your mat to either side of your shoulders. So the hands are far out to the side, fingertips on the floor. So you're lifting up in a dome position. We're going to rise up to what's called gecko pose. You take a deep breath in, you raise your head, chest, shoulders, you're pressing into your fingertips, lifting up as high as possible. Then come back down, hands come back in, push up onto the hands and knees. Right hand off the mat, left hand on top. Sink your hips back. Back up, we change side, left hand, right hand on top, sink back. Back to center, hands onto the mat, tuck the toes under. You're coming into crouching cat or down dog. Looking forward. Bring your right foot forward first, then the left, and you're lifting up onto your fingertips as you do this. Bend your knees low, hands to thighs, lift the chest, arms by your ears, holding 3, 2, 1. Coming all the way up to standing, arms by your sides, lift your chest. Hands to your heart center, soft prayer. Deep breath in, we go again. Breathing out, elbows come to knees, fingertips onto the floor and stepping back, plank position. Check for those baby hands. Bring the knees down, move yourself down to the floor. Pointing your toes, open your hands, fingertips down into gecko pose, lifting up. Coming back down again, hands under the shoulders, push up onto the hands and knees. We do the side stretch again, left hand off the mat. Right hand on top, sink the hips back. Then right hand off the mat, left hand on top, sinking back. Back to center, down dog or crouching cat. This time, bring your left foot forward first, then the right. Front edge of the mat, bend the knees down low, hands to thighs, lift the chest. Arms by your ears, holding 3, 2, 1, up to standing. Good. We're going to keep going with this. We're going to take out the side stretch and we go a little faster. Hands to heart center. Get ready. Deep breath in, rise. Folding. Stepping back to plank. Knees come down. Move yourself down. Open the hands for gecko pose, lifting. Back down, hands under shoulders. Push up onto the knees first, and then take your down dog or crouching cat. Step your right foot forward first, then the left. Coming to the front edge, knees bend, hands to thighs. Chair pose, holding 3, 2, 1, up to standing. Hands in a soft prayer, going again. Deep breath in, rise. Folding, elbows to knees, coming down. Step back to plank. Bring your knees down, move yourself to the floor. Open your hands, gecko pose. Back down again, hands under shoulders, up onto the knees. Down dog or crouching cat. Left foot swings forward, then the right. Bend your knees low, taking your chair. 3, 2, 1, up to standing. Going again, hands in soft prayer. Let's go. Deep breath in, rise. Folding forward. Yes, good. Stepping back to plank. Excellent. Move yourself down. Nice. Point your toes, rise to gecko. Yes. Bring your chest back down, bring your hands back in. Push back, down dog or crouching cat. Beautiful. Set your right foot forward, stepping forward. Get to the front edge. Perfect. Into chair. Yes, hold your chair. 3. Keep your knees apart. 2, 1, up to standing. Hands in a soft prayer. Last round. Let's go. Deep breath in, rise. Perfect. Folding forward. Stepping back to plank. Excellent. Move yourself down and taking gecko. Good. Bring your chest back down and pushing back, down dog or crouching cat. Looking good, everybody. Okay, left foot swings forward, then stepping forward, front edge of your mat. You're gonna get to chair, hold your chair. 3, excellent. 2, 1, beautiful, everyone. Come up to standing. Whew. Bring your hands to your hips. Sink your knees down a little bit and sink your hips back. Step your right foot back in a very low lunge, and the legs are not too far apart, okay? So your right foot goes back maybe to the center of your mat. That's it. Hips go back towards your right heel as if you want to sit down. And be sure your feet are apart. So they're not lined up one behind the other. They are apart. That's what's going to bring you balance. From here, sinking the hips back, lift the chest as much as possible. Reach your arms out in front of you. Interlace all fingers except the index and the thumb. Hips sinking way back, and let's turn to our left. Go as far as possible. Hips back. You're turning towards the left leg, which is the front leg. Reach your arms far, far, far out in front of you. Yes, and turn, 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 turn. Hold it. 3, keep breathing. Should be strong. 2, this is good core work. Excellent for the hips, arms, and those forearms. Here's the last breath in. 1, now face forward. Bring your hands to a soft prayer. Push off your back foot and lift the right foot. So you're in a little squat, tiny squat. Right foot lifts off the floor. Holding it here. 3, 2, set your gaze at one point. 1, now cross your right ankle over your left thigh. The knees kind of point upwards. And keeping that soft prayer, twist to your right. Working the core muscles in the opposite direction. Turn your shoulders, turn your head. Hold it here. 3, 2, 1. Unwind, releasing, uncross, and bring your hands back to your hips. Good job, everybody. Bending your knees, hips go back. We'll bring the left foot behind us. So maybe to the middle of your mat, sinking down, hips go back towards the back heel. It's like you're gonna squat down onto the back heel. Raise your chest, reach your arms in front of you, interlacing all the fingers except the index and the thumb. Take a look at this. Except the index and the thumb. Reach them far beyond you. And now we twist to our right. Woohoo! Sinking the hips back. Turn, 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 turn. We hold it 5. Keep the hips back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwind. Hands in a soft prayer. Push off your back foot to raise the left foot. Set your gaze at the horizon, holding 3, 2, 1. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh, and we twist to the left. Hands in that soft prayer. Turn and look to your left. Yes. Holding 3. Stay strong. Turn your shoulders. Yes. 2. Beautiful. 1. Unwind and uncross, releasing. Bravo. Step to the center of your mat. Bend your your right knee. Bring it out to the side. 45-degree angle compared to your hips. Set the foot either at the ankle, a little bit higher than the kneecap, or the inner thigh. Raise your arms in a V. Yes. Lift your eyes at the horizon. Yes. Stay calm, breathing in and out through the nose. Hands to your hips. Lower your foot down. Good job. Changing sides. Bend your left knee. Bring it out to the side. You're either at the ankle, a little bit higher than the kneecap, or the inner thigh. Raising the arms up in a V. Yes. Raise your eyes at the horizon. Beautiful. Deep breaths here. Focusing 3, 2, 1. Good job. Hands to the hips. Bring the foot back down. Beautiful, everybody. Step back to the front edge of your mat. Hands in the soft prayer again. Deep breath in. Let's rise. Folding forward, the elbows come to the knees, and you bring your hands right down to the floor. We'll step back to a plank position. Now, for those of you who have wrist issues, I recommend either you bring your knees down so that it takes a little pressure off the wrists, or even better, you can bring your elbows down. We're going to hold this plank position for at least 30 seconds. So find what's going to work for you. Lifting the head, see if your shoulders can open, and breathe here, in and out through the nose. See if you can flatten out your belly, pull it in and widen the belly. That is the action of the transversus, which is the big center core muscle we want to work here. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower your knees, gently lower your chest, and bring your hands underneath your forehead and relax and let go. Good job. Lifting your head, chest, and shoulders. We're going to do a classic yoga pose, which is the cobra, which we did not do in the warm-up. So bring your hands under your shoulders. Think again, the baby hands. The fingers aren't spread too wide. They're just gently apart, and you're grabbing a bit into the floor. Push against your hands and lift up through the chest, stretching the belly, lengthen the throat, open your shoulders, and we hold here. 5 deep breaths. If it's too much, you can come back down. If you're able to hold it for another 3 breaths. Good. Lower the chest down gently. Hands under the forehead and move your hips from side to side. Lifting your head back up, reach your arms behind you, clasp the fingers together and stretch the arms as much as possible. Here you get a stretch of the wrists. If it's too much, don't clasp the fingers, just reach with your hands. If it's all right, fingers are clasped together, push the arms away, lift the head, chest, and shoulders, and lift your legs. Snake pose. Deep breaths here. One more deep breath in. Come on back down. Hands under the forehead. And again, release your back, letting your hips go side to side. Good. Now the next move is going to be a stretch of the arm. It goes in through the hand, arm, chest, as well as the back and the legs. Watch carefully. I'm going to stretch my left arm out to the side. Palm is down on the floor. I'll bring my right hand as if I'm going to do a cobra or the gecko pose, but the palm is down. I'll lift up my right foot with the knee bent, and I'm just going to twist, bringing the right foot far, far, far behind me, okay? This stretches out, I feel it all the way into the hand of the left hand, into the forearm, into the chest. I can have my head down on the floor if it's better for my neck, or lifted. See if you can lift the knee as well, and the toe is pointed. The right toe is pointed, the right knee is up. So get into the position and hold and breathe. If ever you feel any pain anywhere, please come out of the position, or you could just do it halfway. 3, 2, 1. That felt good. Roll back onto your tummy, hands underneath the forehead, and let your hips go from side to side. Let's change sides. Right arm goes out to the side, palm onto the floor, shoulder goes down. Left hand down onto the floor to give you support. Bend your left knee, left foot lifts. And we roll, bringing the left foot down behind us, lifting up the knee. Just open up completely. Good. This is a really nice twist as well for the back. And there's a lot going on here. But I feel it right down into the hand, into the forearm, because all those muscles are connected up to the chest and the shoulder. Deep breaths. 3, 2, good job. 1. Roll back onto your belly. Hands underneath the shoulders. Push up onto the hands and knees. Bring your knees forward. If you are comfortable, you can sit down onto your heels. If it's not comfortable, just stay kneeling. This is fine too. Reach your right arm in front of you, bring it over the head and down the upper back. Left arm reaches behind and you're going to turn it. Turning the palm up, you want to lift and see if you can grab the fingers. Once you're there, close your eyes. Take a few deep, slow breaths. Releasing, release the hands. Fingertips come down onto the floor. Roll your shoulders to let go. And we'll change sides. Left arm reaches up and over the head. Right arm, we're going to turn it so the thumb goes down and then reach up and see if you can grab hands. If you can't grab the hands, it's not a big deal. You just reach for them. You get the same stretch and you get the same benefits. In fact, it's probably even better if we don't grab the hands because you stay active. Once we grab the hands, we go into a passive stretch. So don't worry if you can't grab the hands. 3, 2, 1. Releasing, fingertips on the floor. Let's roll the shoulders once again. All right. Bring your feet to one side. Come to a seated position. We'll grab behind the thighs, roll down. Walk your feet away from you, heels down, toes pointing up, arms flat on the floor. Let's go for a hamstring bridge. Pushing the heels down and pulling them towards the hips is going to engage your hamstrings even more. Stay here, breathe in and out through the nose. Good. Bring your hips back down to the floor. Stepping your feet in. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Frog bridge. Press the soles of your feet together to lift your hips, and we'll press to the sky, squeezing the glutes very tight. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. That's great. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your hips back down. Set your feet flat and keep the knees apart. Lift the hips up again, not very high. We're going to squeeze the knees together to touch and then apart. If this hurts the knees, bring your feet farther away from you. Squeeze the knees together, and when you do, lift the perineum up so you feel like you're lifting up all the muscles in the lower abdomen. And apart. Let's go again. 10 and apart. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So good. 2 and 1. Bring your hips back down. Rest for a moment. Reset your feet well. Elbows into the floor. Here, we're going to have those baby hands again. So soft fingers, soft palm, press the elbows down and lift your hips up. Here we are, half bridge pose. And you can stay, close your eyes, focus on your breath, moving in and out of the body. Nice deep breaths, slow and calm. One more deep, slow breaths. Raise your arms over your head now. Reach behind you and lower the back one vertebra at a time, very, very slowly. Good. Once the back is all the way on the floor, separate your feet as wide as your mat. Let your knees fall to the right. Raising one knee at a time, let your knees now fall to the left. Raising one knee at a time, good. Bring the knees into the chest, squeeze the knees against the chest and rock gently from side to side. Okay, we're gonna do some abdominal work now. Bring your left foot flat onto the floor, the knee is bent. Hands come behind your head. I want you to stretch your right leg out in a diagonal position, pointing the toe. Find where you can have the diagonal position, keeping the belly pulled in and no pain in the low back. You want to make sure that your low back is lightly curved and there's no strain. Okay? So first, we'll lift the head and shoulders and bring the knee in. 10 times. Let's go. So we breathe out. 10, 9. Stretch the leg out as you lower the head. 8, Keep lifting up through the belly. 7, belly button in, lower abdomen lifting. 6, 5, 4, good. 3, 2, 1. Now you can keep going with this or keep the legs straight. It creates more of a challenge, and just lift the head and shoulders. 10, breathing out. 9, stay with it. 8, woo, it's good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, almost there. 2, breathe out as you lift. 1, bring the foot back down. Whew. Raise your left leg, diagonal. Maybe it's going to be diagonal here for you. It's up to you and how you feel in the low back. You could also just have the knee bent if you wish. That's going to help to release the low back. Find the right contraction for you, and let's lift, bringing the knee in. 10, keep the belly in and up. 9, breathe out as you lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, almost there. 3, looking good. 2, 1. Now keep the leg diagonal. Keep the belly strong, and let's lift here. 10. If you want to, you can bend the knee. 9, 8, breathe out as you lift. 7, woo, 6, 5, 4, almost there. 3, 2, here's the last one, and 1. Good, bend the knees. Open your feet once again as wide as your mat. Arms stretched over your head. Let's get a stretch of the belly. Knees to the right. Reach your arms behind you. And change sides. Knees to the left. Reaching the arms far, far behind. Good. One knee at a time. Step your feet in. Keep your back curved so that we get the stretch down the back of the leg. And we'll raise the right leg. Grab behind the thigh, big circle with the foot. Perfect. Change the direction of the circle. Flex the foot strongly. Straighten your leg as much as you possibly can. Now, if you don't feel the stretch already down the back of the leg, you can begin pulling the leg towards you, but be sure you keep natural curve of your spine. If you find that your low back is going to the floor, you're getting more into the low back than into the leg, and we don't necessarily want to stretch the low back. Take a deep, deep breath in. Let it out, and cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Lifting both legs, get a stretch into the hip. Keeping your legs crossed, let's bring the left foot onto the floor. Let your knees go to your left. Bring your right arm out to the side. Turn your head to the right, and we'll hold here. Turn all the way onto your left-hand side. Grab a hold of your right ankle. Push the knee behind you to get a stretch of your quadriceps and hip flexor. And then bringing the right knee up to the shoulder, roll back onto your back, and set the right foot onto the floor. Keeping curving your low back, let's raise the left leg. Grab behind the thigh. Nice big circle with the foot. Good. Change the direction of the circle. Flex the foot as much as possible, straighten your leg as much as possible, and gently pull it towards you if you need to, keeping the curve in the low back, please. Crossing your left ankle over the right thigh, lifting both, grab behind, pulling the knees in towards the chest. And you hold. And breathe. Right foot onto the floor, let the knees go to your right. Turn your head to the left, reaching your left arm out to the side. Good. And we'll roll all the way to our right hand side. Right arm under the head. Grab your left ankle and push the knee behind you to get the stretch in the quadriceps. Left knee to the left shoulder, roll all the way onto your back, bringing both knees one last time to the chest. You can be here, or you can lift your feet, grab behind the thighs for happy baby, or you could also grab the ankles or the bottoms of the feet, whatever feels good for you. Releasing, stretching one leg at a time onto the ground. Let your feet turn to the outsides of the mat. Bring your palms to the sky and bring your arms by your sides. And begin taking deep, slow breaths. Perhaps you can even feel your tummy rising and falling with each breath. Consciously now, relax your hands and your feet. Relaxing your legs and your arms. Shoulders and hips. Upper back and lower back. Relax the neck, the throat, the jaw, all of the muscles in the face and the head. Relax your tummy, lower abdomen. Relax the chest. At the center of the chest, we have a chakra called Anhata, which is considered the heart center. Bring your attention to this heart center. And the color of the heart center is green. And as everything becomes more green in this season of spring, allow your heart center to blossom. Bring your awareness back to your position on your mat, to your position in your room, to the space around you, and begin moving your fingers and your toes. Raise your arms over your head and stretch from fingers to toes. Gently raising your knees back up to your chest. Squeeze your knees against your chest. Good. And softly rock from side to side. Rolling onto your right-hand side. When you're ready, set your hands down onto the floor and gently push, even with the baby hands, the gently curved hands. Push up. And let's rub our hands together. Bring your hands over your face as if you're washing it clean, tapping around the eyes. Shake your hands out softly. One more time. Let's rub the hands together. Washing the face clean. Tap softly around your eyes. Shaking out. Hands into a soft prayer. Have a lovely afternoon, everyone. Namaste. Thanks very much. Well done.